Benvenuti a Lumsa News, il telegiornale della scuola di giornalismo. Quella di oggi è un'edizione speciale, contiene infatti i servizi che partecipano a una competizione indetta da Civis Media, una fondazione che ha sede in Germania e che ogni anno premia i migliori prodotti televisivi sui temi dell'integrazione e della diversità culturale. Lumsa News partecipa assieme ad altre scuole di giornalismo d'Europa con 3 reportage che vengono qui proposti nella versione originale in inglese. Il primo servizio è sull'amara esperienza di rifugiati che hanno trovato un asilo provvisorio nei locali dell'ex ambasciata somala a Roma.
When we saw for the first time the situation inside the building, we thought, that's a hell on earth.
Rome, in the ex-Somalian embassy building, 140 refugees living in an extremely degraded situation. They don't have water, heating or electricity. The windows are broken and inside it's damp and there is dirt and garbage everywhere. To cook something and to warm themselves, they often light a rudimentary, dangerous fire, using alcohol as fuel. They have learned how to do it from the murderers of the African desert, as Shukri Said, a Somalian activist who is trying to help her fellow citizens, has told us. After the fall of the Siad Barre's regime and the outbreak of the war, the government of Mogadishu wasn't able to finance its Italian embassy anymore. So since 1991, the building has been abandoned. The 3-story house in Bellini Street has now become a dormitory and a permanent shelter for these people. Documents allow them to stay in Italy and they're asking for asylum. So, according to international law, they should have access to special assistance programs. In this crumbling building, the Somalis are sleeping on mattresses and boxes on the floor. The squalor inside the embassy is all the more absurd, given that it's situated in Rome's most elegant residential district. According to the Italian Council for Refugees, in Rome there are approximately 1,500 people living in similar conditions in the city. At the end of December, after a visit to the embassy, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees expressed its concern regarding the safety of the location.
In here we suffer physical and psychological stress. Sometimes you can even see someone speaking to himself.
Formally, Italy has guaranteed international protection to these refugees, but in reality they are still living in unacceptable conditions.
For too many years, fundamental rights have been erased living in this dimension. That's why we asked the institution for new solutions and for a better reception and integration.
In 2003, after the introduction of the so-called Dublin II regulation law, the building on Bellini Street is called Dublin's House. The building is now the official residence for all the people who have been deported from other EU countries because the new immigration law states asylum seekers must remain in the country where they first made their application for asylum, as is the case for these people who have been fingerprinted by the Italian police. For this reason, some of them have tried to cut their fingers to hide their identity in order to apply for asylum in other European countries.
Every day some of us leave Italy, but they always return here. We are forced to run away because we don't want to keep living here. It's dangerous and many of us are seriously ill.
Many of these people are university graduates and some of them are musicians.
Is it yours?
Yes, it's mine. I usually play piano.
Various humanitarian organizations denounced the situation of the ex-Somalian embassy. On December the 30th, there was a press conference, but the UNHCR says the Italian media devoted hardly any coverage to this humanitarian emergency.
The Italian media aren't interested in immigration and asylum. The papers here talk about immigration only in connection with crimes committed by immigrants.
According to the data of the High Commissioner, Italy is hardly an ideal haven for refugees. In fact, it has accepted only 47,061 refugees, less than one-tenth of the number accepted by Germany. During 2009, according to official statistics of the European Union, there has been a 70% reduction in the number of asylum seekers as a direct consequence of the policies of rejection agreed to by Italy and Libya.
We ask to the international community and to the European institutions to take note of the failure of refugees' reception in Italy.
People escaping from civil wars, from the encroachment of fundamental rights, from persecution, those who came mainly by sea, can't arrive to the Italian coast and they can't ask for protection.
If I have to live in this way, it should be better if I come back to Somalia. I prefer to be killed with a bullet than living here like a cockroach.
The policy of rejection, promoted by the Italian government as a solution for the irregular immigration, often restricts the access to the right of asylum. The odyssey of 140 Somalian citizens, encamped for many years in the ex-embassy building, point out the lack of resources concerning the system reception. They escaped from a war, but in Italy they didn't find a peaceful life. They found only a gate that closed behind them, leaving them alone again.